Child from Scarborough developed a love of the spoken word.
Now, decades later, Dwayne Morgan continues to share his passion, mentoring some and entertaining others. CTV's Andrea Case has the story.
Order of Ontario recipient and spoken word poet Dwayne Morgan has often walked through Sankofa Square at Yonge and Dundas, but he's never seen a picture of himself towering over the intersection.
When I was starting out, people were like, poetry, what are you going to do with that? You can't turn that into anything. And now I can say, well, I'm on a billboard.
It all started as a teenager in Scarborough when he entered a talent show.
I wrote a poem and people said, hey, you should really write and tell these stories about what's going on with, young racialized people in the neighborhood. And 32 years later, I'm still here. And every year I just try to celebrate the fact that I'm here.
Over the years, he has mentored and supported others in the creative endeavor.
When Brothers Speak is the largest spoken word show in North America that features all black men. We have Ontario's first poet laureate, Randella J., who's going to be performing. We have the new poet laureate, Testament, who's going to be performing. We have poets coming from Illinois, from New Jersey. We have one of my mentees named Scribe, and then I curate and I produce the show every single year.
And who's teaching the boys that their unsolicited opinions are okay?
A lot has changed in the 32 years he's been performing.
When I first started out, there was no such thing as spoken word. There were no priority neighborhoods. There was no, grants and funding to support this type of work. So I had to, create a lot of infrastructure. I've had to mentor a lot of younger artists. So now when I see that, Ontario has a poet laureate, that Toronto has a youth poet laureate and a Toronto poet laureate, it's really encouraging to see how things have changed.
Mental health isn't something you talk about in an immigrant house. It's a sign of weakness, and you aren't allowed to be weak when you're already carrying so much.
Poetry is and storytelling is the oldest art form that exists. It started once we gained language. And I think, as we move into this world that is more and more digital, it is so important to be able to have conversations with each other. And we wanted to create an environment and a show where people are strictly having a conversation, speaking and listening.
Tickets are available through Ticketmaster for When Brothers Speak at the St. Lawrence Centre of the Arts on Front Street. The show will be held on Saturday, November 22nd. Andrea Case, CTV News.